A single coin, something you could easily pass by without a second glance, has the power to change a life forever. What if I told you that tucked away in pocket change, hidden inside old jars or forgotten in drawers, a simple 1989 Lincoln penny could be worth a staggering fortune, millions of dollars in the right condition and with the right error? That tiny piece of copper-plated zinc might just be the most valuable thing you'll ever touch, turning an everyday cent into a treasure that could rewrite your destiny. This is not a story of ordinary money. It is the story of an extraordinary 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin that hides secrets most people will never uncover. The 1989 Lincoln penny belongs to the series honoring Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909. By this year, the cent had already transformed from the original wheat reverse design to the memorial reverse, a change made in 1959 to celebrate the 151st anniversary of Lincoln's birth. From 1982 onward, the U.S. Mint shifted from nearly pure copper to a copper-plated zinc composition, and the 1989 penny is a product of that era. With billions produced, most people dismiss it as common pocket change. But within this vast mintage lie rare errors and pristine conditions that transform the coin's value into something truly breathtaking. Collectors know that 1989 pennies can be deceiving. While the Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 7 billion coins and the Denver Mint contributed billions more, not all pennies are created equal. A typical worn 1989 penny might fetch only face value, but a coin in mint state, preserved in flawless condition, could reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And when combined with rare minting errors, those elusive mistakes that slip through quality checks, the value skyrockets. One of the most prized variations comes from doubled die errors. A doubled die occurs when the die itself is improperly manufactured, resulting in visible doubling of letters, numbers, or features on the coin. A 1989 Lincoln penny with a strong doubled die on Liberty or the date is almost unheard of, and examples in gem mint condition could attract tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Now imagine a collector desperate to complete their registry set. Suddenly, that 1 cent becomes the golden ticket worth millions. Then there are off-center strikes, another category of error that makes ordinary coins extraordinary. If a 1989 penny was struck while the planchet was not properly aligned, the result is a coin with missing parts of the design, sometimes showing a dramatic crescent-shaped blank area. The more off-center the strike while still retaining clear details like the date, the more valuable the coin. Collectors drool over such anomalies, with values reaching thousands depending on severity and condition. Another category that sends shockwaves through the coin world is transitional errors. These occur when a coin is struck using the wrong planchet from a different year or denomination. Although the 1989 penny was officially composed of copper-plated zinc, a handful might have been struck on leftover copper planchets. If one of these exists and surfaces today, it could be worth hundreds of thousands, possibly millions, because it is a unique survivor of minting history. A copper 1989 penny would instantly be a legend, the kind of coin that changes the life of whoever finds it. Grading also plays an enormous role in value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. A 1989 penny in average circulated condition is common and holds no premium. But one graded MS67 or higher with brilliant luster, sharp details, and no visible marks becomes a prize for elite collectors. Auction records show that high-grade Lincoln pennies from the late 1980s can fetch astonishing prices, especially when registry set competition drives bidding wars. That is how a coin that costs 1 cent to mint transforms into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Beyond errors and grades, the 1989 penny holds historical significance. It represents a time when the U.S. Mint was fully entrenched in the copper-plated zinc era, balancing cost efficiency with tradition. For collectors, it marks the final stretch before the design overhaul in 2009 that introduced new reverses honoring Lincoln's life. Every 1989 penny tells a story not just of money, but of history, industry, and craftsmanship. Now picture the thrill of finding one of these hidden treasures. You pick up a 1989 penny and notice something unusual. The lettering looks doubled. The rim appears misaligned, Or perhaps the coin gleams like it was struck yesterday. What you thought was worthless pocket change suddenly transforms into a fortune. Stories circulate of ordinary people discovering rare pennies in loose change or inherited collections, coins that later sold for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some collectors whisper that a unique 1989 error penny could break the $1 million mark at the right auction, given its rarity and demand. The pursuit of such coins has become a modern treasure hunt. People scour bankrolls, search through old jars, and inherit boxes of coins hoping to stumble across that once-in-a-lifetime find. The 1989 penny may look common, but its rarest forms are the stuff of legend. Every scratch, every shine, every strike holds the possibility of revealing something the world has overlooked. And for the person who discovers it, life is never the same again. In the end, the 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin is more than metal. It is proof that hidden value can lie where no one expects it. It reminds us that history can hide in plain sight, that fortune can disguise itself as something ordinary, and that sometimes the most powerful treasures are not made of gold or diamonds, but of a small copper-plated coin stamped with the face of Abraham Lincoln. And perhaps, even now, a fortune worth. Millions rest quietly in your pocket. Close your eyes and hold a simple penny in your hand, a small, copper-colored coin that most people pass by without thinking twice. Now open your eyes to the truth. This little piece of metal, if it's the right one, could change your life forever. A Lincoln 1988 1-cent coin, something you might find in pocket change, could be worth not just a few cents, not just a few dollars, but in rare cases, thousands and even millions. Yes, the coin you thought had no power could be the hidden treasure that turns an ordinary moment into an extraordinary discovery. The Lincoln 1988 penny may look like every other cent that's ever crossed your palm, but it carries with it a story of value, history, and hidden potential. Struck by the U.S. Mint, this coin was part of the ordinary circulation, designed to move quietly through the economy. But collectors know that within ordinary production, mistakes happen, and those mistakes create fortune. A tiny error in minting, a rare variation in design, or even a difference in the metal used can transform a coin's destiny. While billions of 1988 pennies were produced, a select few carry these rare traits that elevate their worth into the realm of life-changing money. The 1988 penny belongs to the LincolnCents series, which has been one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history since its introduction in 1909. Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has stood as a symbol of leadership, freedom, and resilience. The 1988 version still carries that timeless design, Lincoln's profile on the obverse, with the bold words, "In God We Trust," arching above, "Liberty" to the side, and the date clearly stamped below. Flip it and you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, representing strength and unity, flanked by the proud words, "United States of America" and 1 cent. To the casual eye, nothing unusual stands out. But to the trained collector, every detail holds a secret. The most valuable 1988 Lincoln pennies are not the common ones that jingle in your pocket, but the error coins, the varieties that slipped through unnoticed. One of the most famous is the 1988 penny with the reverse of 1989 error. This happens when the reverse design intended for the 1989 penny was mistakenly used on some 1988 coins. To most people, the Lincoln Memorial looks the same, but for experts, the small details tell the truth. The lettering in America, the spacing between letters, and the style of the designer's initials give away the mistake. Those lucky enough to find one of these coins discovered a piece of history that collectors are willing to pay staggering sums for. Beyond design errors, condition plays a massive role in value. A 1988 Lincoln penny that has survived decades without scratches, dents, or discoloration is a rare gem. Coins in mint state, untouched by circulation, are the kind collectors hunt for with passion. A shiny, flawless example can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Combine mint condition with a rare error, and you have a coin worth more than some people's annual salary. What makes the story even more powerful is that these coins are still out there. Unlike gold bars locked away in vaults or rare gems hidden in collections, Lincoln pennies move freely among us. That 1988 penny you ignored on the sidewalk, the one you thought was worthless, could be the exact coin that collectors are chasing with open wallets. Every day, people find treasures in their change jars, their drawers, or tucked away in forgotten piggy banks. Stories emerge of ordinary people who discover they've been holding onto a coin worth thousands without even knowing it. For collectors, the 1988 penny represents more than money. It is a link to history, a reminder that even the smallest details can create massive differences. It teaches patience because finding that one extraordinary coin takes time and dedication. It inspires curiosity, pushing you to look closer at what most people ignore. And most of all, it offers hope that something so small, so common, can hold a secret fortune. The market for Lincoln pennies is alive and thriving. Auction houses, coin shows, and online marketplaces buzz with activity, where coins like the 1988 cent make headlines. Collectors place bids, prices climb, and those who own rare examples watch as their little penny transforms into a symbol of wealth. For some, it's a passion, for others, an investment. But for everyone, the allure is undeniable. The thought that a single cent, a coin dismissed as worthless, can carry value beyond imagination keeps the hunt alive. The lesson of the 1988 Lincoln penny is clear. Never overlook the small things. That coin in your hand may look ordinary, but with the right features, it has the power to rewrite your story. It could be the coin that takes you from pocket change to life-changing money. It could be the piece of history that connects you to a larger world of collectors and dreamers. So, the next time you see a 1988 penny, don't let it pass by unnoticed. Look closely. Study its details. Hold it as if it carries more than copper and zinc. Because it just might. Somewhere out there, in someone's jar or wallet, sits a coin that looks like nothing but is worth everything. And if that coin lands in your hand, you'll know that sometimes fortune hides in the smallest of places. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, something so ordinary that people pass it every day without a second thought. But what if I told you that a simple 1977 Lincoln penny could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars under the right conditions? That's not a fantasy. That's the power of rare coins, hidden errors, and the fascinating world of numismatics. The 1977 Lincoln cent may look like just another piece of pocket change, but behind its simple appearance lies history, mystery, and the potential for life-changing value. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could make you look at every penny in your wallet in a completely new way. The 1977 Lincoln cent was struck at 3 primary mints in the United States: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, Denver coins carried a small D mark beneath the date, and the San Francisco coins carried an S together. These pennies formed part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1977, the coin had already become a staple of American currency, but certain features and errors from that year make it particularly desirable among collectors. Most 1977 pennies were struck from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, giving them that classic reddish-brown look that older coins are famous for. Each coin weighed 3.11 grams and measured 19 millimeters across, a small piece of metal that held enormous historical significance. On the obverse, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, remained a powerful symbol of leadership, determination, and legacy. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood proudly, another reminder of America's dedication to preserving the memory of its 16th president. For everyday use, millions of 1977 pennies were minted, with over 4 billion struck across all facilities. That makes the average coin fairly common. If you have a worn example in your pocket, it's usually worth only its face value of 1 cent. But the story changes when you look at coins in uncirculated condition or those with special errors. A coin that survived decades without scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear becomes rare simply because so few exist in pristine form. The real treasures of the 1977 Lincoln cent lie in the rare error varieties and high-grade examples. Collectors prize coins graded MS65 and above, with sharp details, original luster, and minimal imperfections. These coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. Proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint with special polished dies and intended for collectors also carry a premium. A deep cameo proof from 1977 with no flaws can bring a strong price in today's market. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1977 penny is the presence of dramatic error coins. Double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and repunched. Mint marks are some of the varieties that send collectors into bidding wars. For example, a double die obverse penny from 1977, where the lettering or numbers appear doubled due to a die misalignment, can be worth hundreds of dollars depending on its grade. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin wasn't struck in the center of the planche, can also be highly valuable, especially if the date is still visible. These oddities transform a common penny into a collector's dream. Copper itself adds another layer of intrigue to these coins. Unlike pennies struck after 1982, which were made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, the 1977 penny contains almost pure copper. As copper prices rise, the intrinsic metal value of these coins also increases. This makes pre-1982 pennies more desirable to both investors and collectors, who see them as both a piece of history and a small store of tangible value. Stories of extraordinary auction sales fuel the excitement around the 1977 Lincoln penny. While not every coin will make you rich, some have sold for staggering amounts due to their grade, rarity, or error type. A flawless proof or an uncirculated Denver Mint coin with vibrant red coloring can reach into the thousands. And in the rarest of cases, certain unique specimens with dramatic mint errors can achieve six figures or more. These are the coins that make headlines, turning an ordinary cent into $1 million treasure. For collectors, every 1977 penny represents a chance to discover something extraordinary. It might be a subtle doubling on the lettering, a misaligned strike, or just a coin that somehow escaped the ravages of circulation with all its brilliance intact. That possibility is what keeps treasure hunters searching through rolls of pennies from banks, flea markets, and old jars tucked away in attics. The thrill isn't just in the value, but in the history. The idea that you're holding a piece of 1970s America, a time of cultural shifts, political changes, and economic struggles. When you look closer at a 1977 LincolnCent, you're not just looking at copper. You're looking at a story of a nation honoring one of its greatest leaders, of craftsmanship at the U.S. Mint, of chance errors that turned mistakes into priceless treasures. For most people, it's just a penny. For a collector, it's a potential goldmine. So the next time you see a 1977 penny in your change, don't dismiss it as ordinary. Hold it to the light, examine the details, check the mint mark, and imagine the possibilities. Because hidden within that small piece of metal could be a fortune waiting to be discovered. Coins like the 1977 LincolnCent remind us that value is not always about size or appearance. Sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest worth. A single cent minted almost 50 years ago can today hold the power to change lives. And that's why millions of people around the world continue to search, collect, and treasure coins that others overlook. What looks like pocket change to some could be $1 million coin to someone else. Keep your eyes open because your next discovery might just be hiding in plain sight.